Good evening from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Kervin, and this is Rant and Randy's Rant for Sunday, November 15th, 2020. All right, I'm going to start off today with a couple of facts about my our, I like to think of it that way, is our YouTube channel. I have put out 224 videos, actually, it's 225. Since I did a um, driver booster 8 update yesterday on the microphone or the audio, also um, Radeon and Amdahl itself. This thing is faster than ever. Good news on my MacBook Air. It has switched to Big Sur now. I like the accessories on Big Sur because now I can tell what is using up battery power the most. And I'll give you a little hint. It's called Google. Google is a real energy burner. But as soon as I can send it in to DirecTV, since I have this one operating properly now, the HP is working great. I'll be able to send the other one under my protection policy with DirecTV and get a new battery in the MacBook Air. So things are going great. We're at 193 subscribers, and I checked that earlier today. We gained 2 since the last show. I want to start out with Missouri confirmed cases ever since the pandemic started. Missouri is at 239,451. Deaths in Missouri are at 3,374. 59 in the last 7 days have died in Missouri. Now I'll go to the national. We're at 10.9 million U.S. cases of COVID-19 in the U.S. We're at 245,000, but since we're at 900 and something, I figure by now or by sunset, we'll be at 246,000 dead Americans. And this morning, Tweety Turd has been out. He admitted that Biden won, followed up with conspiracy theories that the media is the only reason he won. He really won, but they're saying Biden won. Then he turns that around and informs people that Giuliani will be his lead attorney. Now we know that we're going to have Ghoul of Law. Shit. Damn. He will fight it all the way. His other attorneys, most of them have dropped out by now because they're embarrassing themselves presenting his cases. I think I saw today he still has 15 more cases, and I don't know whether that includes taking it to the Supreme Court where they will laugh him out the door, his lawyer out the door. I can just imagine that. Giuliani leading them up going into the Supreme Court. He still thinks he can overturn the election. The will of the majority of the American people have spoken. Donnie, you lost. Get used to it. And why don't you live up to what you said? Remember, you hinted during your rallies that you'd have to leave the United States. That's very possible because Southern District of New York is going to come after your ass the day you come out of the White House. You're not going to set up your little White House, alternative White House in Mar-a-Lago. That's not going to work. You're going to end up leaving. And I think a good part of your family will probably be going with you wherever you go. I think you'll be going to Russia. Uh, no one had to tell me that we would have violence in D.C. last night. It always comes in darkness. Last night, stream media, for the most part, lost interest as far as live coverage right as some of the violence was starting. Uh, a good blue dot friend of mine said that Antifa was kind of standing off with the police. Then they took off, got around the police, ran down the street. One man got stabbed. He's in the hospital in critical condition. And 20 people were arrested. I don't know which side got arrested, but it was more or less Trump supporters chasing Antifa down the street. And that's all I know on that, so I'm not going to go any further. That is worrisome to add that to the violence plays into his narrative. DC is a Democrat city. I can just hear it now. But maybe his mind is too occupied with how's he going to get his ass out of this. And basically, what we're looking at, he's a grifter. Ever since he's come in office, all he's done is make money off the American taxpayer. And he's up to getting money off for his legal team, which can help pay off campaign debts or any other thing that he chooses to do with the money, like saving up to get his ass out of the country. Yeah, you Trump supporters will pay for that too. And again, I'll say this country must come together. Neither side should encourage violence. It's time that the American people come together. We all have to live in the United States of America, not the divided states of America. And then another story I was looking at was lawyers can't find parents of 666 migrant children. Really, that's not the total number. It could be as high as 5,400 children. But I thought the number was striking. 666. Mark of the devil. Biden pledges a task force to reunite migrant families. What's undetermined is whether he will reunite them here, but what is their future after that? We haven't heard from Biden on that. Like I was saying, Donald Trump is a grifter, and as long as he has a cult, he will keep grifting money out of them. Where was Joe Biden yesterday afternoon? In Wilmington, Delaware. He and his family were out all en masse riding bicycles. Donnie, you can't do that shit. Where was Donnie? He was at Bedminster Golf Course after he had to go see the crowds that I believe I heard a hint that bullshit Barbie said it was 1 million people at the protest. Dream on, bullshit Barbie. Didn't happen. There were maybe 5,000, if that many. It wasn't 1 million. And by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, as the sun was going down before the violence there, it was down to hundreds, if that many. Tweety Turd is declaring the election was rigged and he won in all caps. He's trying to pull a coup. Regardless, he will be removed from the White House January 20th, 2021. This country Uh, oh, wait a minute. I wanted to finish that out. I'm completely competent since General Mark Milley has come out and said on Wednesday, they follow the Constitution, the military does. He is the chief of the Joint Staff, and they are going to follow the Constitution. Not one man, not one person that wants to be king. And that's what gives me the greatest hope. Between federal marshals and U.S. military, Donnie, you will leave that White House. What I worry about is having Joe Biden having to occupy it before they disinfect the whole place. After all, we're talking about a hot spot. Okay, now we can go into uh, and Donnie raising all the hell he's doing. And as a country, we have record breaking new infections each day, record number of hospitalizations, and a record number of affected states, including my own state of Missouri. Uh, and what are they going to do when they run out? I was telling Grace last night and today, I said, I can just see it now when Northeast Regional Medical Center has to have tents set up in the parking lot for the overflow. Their president has gone completely mad. His regime is an infection hotspot. The whole White House will have to be disinfected. Uh, and this wouldn't be the first time. Remember, they've already disinfected it. Then he came back in after supposedly having COVID, and the place got reinfected. 130 Secret Service either uh, self quarantining or have been infected with coronavirus, and his own staff. What, that was up to 6 here recently. To the Trump supporters, you gathered and expressed yourself in protest yesterday. He so cared about you, he passed by to go play golf at one of his properties. Understand this, no matter what he wants, the Supreme Court is not going to overturn this election in his favor. There is no evidence. Excuse me. Tweety Turd tweeted, and this is not exact. He won, and the media fake news recognizes Biden as president-elect. Then he turned around and dirtied that up with conspiracy theories about software and all that bullshit. Meanwhile, he's pulling a bait and switch and still collecting money off his supporters. Wednesday, here's what I was talking about, with General Mark Milley delivered a pointed message at Fort Belvoir, Virginia, that the military swore an oath to the Constitution, not one man or a king. In other words, the shakeup in the DOD will not affect the military as far as the Constitution of the United States of America. Trump is losing his mind, saying something that sounds like concession, and then moments later tweeting that he won. Now he blames software problems. And this is why it's another most important moment in our history. We must, with our dollars, make sure that Georgia Democratic candidates win and ensure that we control the Senate, making the Grim Reaper, Mitch, sit down and shut up. We can count on Stacey Abrams. She's doing her part, registering even more voters. and instructed them how to fill out the ballots. Like her example, it's not enough to register them, like a driver's license obtained, but not knowing how to drive. You have to know how to drive. And the same is true of voting. They must get out there and start early voting in December. Uh, and more of the governors and mayors in the Midwest are issuing mask mandates. And some are telling people to stay home. And that was the mayor of Chicago. She said they need to stay home or things were going to get even worse. And the problem with mandates on masks is sheriff's departments are saying they won't enforce it. Well, you can't even get them to wear masks. And it's on and off in this town. The police department was sometimes, when they've had to show up with for number 5 down there, they've shown up with masks on. Other times they haven't. It's on and off with police force here. For the most part, I'm proud of the people of Kirksville, Missouri. They're doing their part. Most people going into Hy-Vee and Walmart have masks on and even wear the mask in the parking lot. In the face of no leadership from the Trump regime, this pandemic will not wait until he leaves the White House January 20th, 2021. I get it. We are tired of social distancing and masks, but if we don't do that nationally now, we will all be sick or dying. This is not political. We all have to cooperate for a better future. Example, Grace and I. Grace's family for Thanksgiving. We will meet at my mother-in-law's house. The guests, my mother-in-law, both brother-in-laws who are single, and Grace and I. That's the guest list. And it will be the same for Christmas because it's not going to turn around that much. I can almost guarantee you that people's behavior will be just like it has been, and we're going to have another surge after Thanksgiving before Christmas. And keep in mind, we're going to make the same kind of Christmas plans because whether Donald Trump had divided, and he has, this family, we would have made it small anyway, even if we, well, let's see, it's been 8 months, more than 8 months since we've seen the grandchildren or my stepson and his wife. But that's what we have to do to get through this. If the nation doesn't change its holiday behavior, this nation is in for a world of hurt. I hope the best. I hope for the best, but I plan for the worst. And their president concedes in bits and pieces. Why? Because he's a grifter. He's always has been. We're talking about a grifter who has made millions off the American taxpayer and will continue to do so. Just look at his resort properties. After he leaves the White House, he will continue a legal fund grifting money to fight in his legal cases in the Southern District of New York. It is possible at some point he will leave the country. After all, he hinted at just that after a rally before the election. I want him to stay in the U.S. to face those charges. He could face the future federal charges, being that he may pardon himself and get rid of the current charges but it will not cover any future federal crimes he commits. And he won't be cleared of state charges. Oh, shit. People, that's about all I got for today. Uh, and as I always do, I try to make up for any time I miss. One, I'm proud of this YouTube channel, and I'll eventually get used to this screen. I've got to keep my elbows off the table and work with my paperwork uh, like I've been doing. And it probably doesn't wiggle as much as I think it does. It just bothers me when I see it jiggling around. All right. Like I said, that's about all I got. I really appreciate all of you coming. Uh, Thank you, George. I realize now you're on YouTube. You're not on Facebook anymore. So I look forward to you being out here. Try to say hello to the others. All right. All right. There's Ann Darnell, John S., and Sherry, of course, was the first one in the room today. Let me see if I can. All right. Well, that's why I'm here. This week it's one day off on Friday and two more on the weekend. Uh, but 6 days a week, this is what I'm going to be doing. And I love this family. Uh, your support and your love, I feel. Uh, Believe me, after each time after I come off the air, I know how you feel about me, and I really appreciate it. We will see this out to the end, and we're on the right side of history, brothers and sisters, and we'll get through this. It's just gonna they're gonna have to take him out screaming and hollering and hanging on to the Resolute desk and the whole 9 yards. But he will leave. And our military and our U.S. Marshals, if it's necessary, they will take him out. Hopefully, there won't be any bloodshed at that time, but if it happens, it happens. I'm hoping it won't. I also would still urge you to call Congress and the Senate, tell them they need to wake up. Uh, they've got bad news. People like Rubio and Haley and Cruz and all. You think you're going to run for president? You keep letting him do what he's doing, he will put you down in a minute. He'll say little Marco and he'll go into his name calling again because nobody, if he wants to run in 2024, he ain't going to let you run. You would think these dumbasses would learn that about this orange turd, but I guess they don't. They're tone deaf, just like he is. He doesn't know when he loses, so I win because I want to be, I want to stay, I want to stay. All right, I'll let you go with peace, resist, persist, and I insist. Keep bugging Congress. We can tie up their phone lines at 202-224-3121. Thank you for watching. Go down and like, share. If you're new here, uh, outside of the Blue Room, go ahead and subscribe. We could use your help. We all need to give to, I'll give the links and I will give the links at the bottom of this and the after comments. Uh, Warnock is warnockforgeorgia.com is the link, and electjohn.com is the other one for Otsop. So I appreciate your time. I'll see you at the meeting later on. Have a good evening and share this shit. Bye bye now.